Hi, I'm Keith. Welcome to my art studio, my YouTube account, my Instagram account, and my Facebook account, and every other account that I have. If you follow me, you know I do art tutorials. And this week, YouTube told me it was my 3-year anniversary. So, to celebrate, I decided to throw the kitchen sink in and do a tutorial on this bad boy. It's a monster. It's kind of a long video, but I put every single thing I had into this one. I call it the kitchen sink, or when I was 17, because nothing's ever changed. Stay tuned. I was just talking to my wife about this, and I do think it's true, that somehow back when I was in my teen years, when I was heavily into art, somehow this imprinted into my brain, and I never got rid of it. Because now when I do art, it's still the same thing. Now, there was a huge gap in my life where I didn't do art at all for about 20 years. I just started doing this again about 3 years ago because I wanted to have something, to show for all the art I've done. I went to the university to be an art teacher. I didn't end up being an art teacher, but anyway, long story short, I am a nurse who now draws and paints on the side for YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all those things. So this particular picture here started off as an idea. I wanted to make a picture of a monster with 3 eyeballs. This one actually ends up with 4. I wanted it to have a shiny object in it, or a reflective object, which I put in there. I wasn't too happy with how it turned out, but I tried. And I wanted to have some horns, which all my stuff has horns and spiky things. But this picture, I put a lot of work into. This one took me hours and hours and hours, like 105 hours. I'm kidding. It probably took me about 3 hours, but it was nonstop. I mean, in between my edits, I would take my paper or my tablet into the kitchen, throw my oven on about 200 degrees and stick it in there for 10 minutes and let the watercolors and the ink all dry. Otherwise, it would take me forever to do this thing. Right now, I am going over my drawing, which I put in with a 2B pencil. I'm going over it with you see that blue pencil there? It's a brand new 8B as in boy pencil. It's a soft-leaded pencil. It gives me nice dark lines. It kind of mimics the look of ink. And that's why I like using it, because I don't have to get the ink out. Even though in this picture, I use lots and lots and lots of ink. You're going to notice that ink wash is a huge thing for me. If you don't follow me, that's one of the main things I do. If you do follow me, you're probably tired of me saying it. But I think ink wash under your watercolors just adds tons and tons and tons. Now, this particular picture, I don't go all the way to the end because I kind of went overboard. I like the ending image live when I see it in person, but when it's compacted down into an image like a JPEG on the computer, the values of the background and the foreground are so close, it's hard to tell the two apart. So I stopped this video just before I get there, even though it's pretty cool in person, but you're never going to see it in person. I might actually go out and buy a frame and frame that thing. It's pretty cool. So right now I am ink washing around my eyeballs, and I thought that the multiple eyes would give it a really kind of a neat effect, and it kind of does. It's not the first time I've done multiple eyeballs. I once did a picture of a plant with eyeballs in the flowers and had petals around it. It was a really kind of neat picture. So I'm going through, I'm doing my edges, I'm trying to get the contours. I want this thing to look 3D. And one thing you're going to learn, if you follow me, and I hope you do, and subscribe, is that ink wash is a fantastic and easy way to do your shading. Right now I'm using black in the mouth. I don't usually use black, but I also wanted to try some comic booky stuff. So I went full black with my ink bottle. And I'm continuing to go through with about, 40 to 80% gray tones for my ink wash wells. Going through, doing the eyes. What am I doing right now? Oh, I'm adding some background. I'm trying to fill out the composition because I want it to look balanced. Oh, now I'm going with the black. Okay, here's the black. Because I wanted to have some good contrast. And nothing beats contrast and blacks and whites. So I'm putting some blacks into my eyes, my irises. And I wanted this thing to have some hair. I looked up razorback pigs just because I thought they were kind of cool to kind of get an idea of how to do the hair. I kind of practiced on doing hair. There's another YouTuber I follow who does lions all the time, and I kind of stole his, well, I didn't steal it. He was teaching how to do fur, and I used that technique, and I tried it here. I wasn't completely happy with it. Maybe it's because my picture was so small, it's hard to get the really small detailed brush strokes I wanted, even though I went to the store and bought myself the finest brush I could find. But it's okay. I can live with it. That was the brush I bought. Super, super fine tip. That's my white. Now I mixed some white with some ink because I didn't want to start with white. I wanted a mid-tone. Because when you do fur, you have to build it up. You can't just start with whites or your lightest colors. You have to start with midtones and keep on going and going and going. But the problem with this, and I hate to say there's a problem, since I was mixing water with it, the ink, the paint would melt into the paper and it wouldn't give me a solid line. It kind of I say smudged, but it didn't give me a fine, detailed line until the very end when I just started using the straight paint. But that's okay. It's okay. It was a learning experience. I've been doing this since like I said before, but since I was 17, and I'm way, way past 17 right now. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, I think I shaved, but I had some gray hairs in my beard there. But I'm still doing the same kind of artwork I did back then. And I mean, I don't know how much of appeal this has. On Instagram, I've noticed there's lots of artists who do this kind of stuff. Lots and lots of them. And I follow them. And it's pretty intimidating to watch some of these people. They're super, super sickeningly talented. So, I'm not trying to compete. Well, actually, of course I am. I'm trying to compete. I want to be known just as much as they are. But I don't see this kind of a community as much on YouTube. At least I've tried, but right now I'm at 329 subscribers. I'd like to see 3,000 or 30,000. But since my niche is so small, it's hard. It's really hard. I mean, if I was doing a cooking channel, I could probably get a lot more. But then cooking channels has a lot more competition. But the art channels normally are like, I hate to say this, but landscapes, dogs and chickens and barns and whatnot. And you don't see a lot of this stuff that I'm doing, which is weird. I think that I would be tons of people like this doing this kind of stuff. But there's not, or at least I can't find them. I've tried and I've tried. For 3 years I've tried. But so please subscribe and share this with your friends. And I'm done whining and complaining. So now I'm using some color here. I added some green. I'm using my watered down acrylics, which I turns into watercolors. And I use that watercolor technique where when you don't paint something, it leaves a highlight. It's a neat little trick. And I did it with the scales. I did it with the lips. And that's why this picture was fun, but it was tedious. It was a lot of work. And I shouldn't complain about it. I probably could have went and done something else today, But I liked the way this image was turning out until the very end when I started overdoing it. And you'll never see that because I don't show you that part. But this kind of looks like Pumbaa from Lion King in a way. But it started off actually as a picture I found on Google of a hippopotamus. But, of course, I made this picture my own, and I was not going to leave it as a hippopotamus. And hippopotamuses don't have those top fangs. I added those, and I don't think they have lips either. And I know they don't have 4 eyeballs or that nose tusk. I mean, it's like a triceratops. When I make these things, I am in creative mode, total creative mode. I am making this my own. That's to me, that's what art's all about. It's not about reproducing something that you can do with a photograph. I mean, I'm a photographer as well. If I want to, reproduce a photograph, I'll go out and take my camera out and take pictures. Okay, right now I'm trying that little trick with the reflective object. It's kind of like a Christmas ornament. It came out okay. I'll give it 3 out of 4 stars. It didn't quite turn out the way I wanted to, but it was okay. Right now I'm putting on some more highlights. And highlights, if you know anything about artwork, is where your picture lives. It's what makes it worth $1 million. This picture was worth $10. Now it's quickly gaining value. So if you want to purchase this from me, and this is not the original, the end product is a little bit different, but I take the PayPal and my wife takes the Venmo, and just make me an offer, and I will tear it out of this book and I will mail it to you. And you can hang it in your bathroom. or or give it to your grandma. Your grandma would love to put this in her living room right over her couch. You know, grandmas love this kind of stuff, I know. So I'm adding a lot more little details, little spots, little dots, moles, pimples, whatever, because I want this thing to be sickeningly detailed. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of blue into my little globe there, because that's supposed to be the sky. And then on the bottom, I put a little bit of green, because that's supposed to be the grass. And, you know, I just need to practice that more. I mean, I've done it before in the past, and it's been better, but this is on paper. I used to do it on canvas, and maybe that's a good excuse, but it came out okay. It's 3.5 stars out of 5. It's all right. So the design of this, I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it's really super cool. I kind of wish I wouldn't have gone any further. But what the funny thing is, though, when I look at this picture in person with the finished product, I love it. But like I said before, when you put it on a computer screen or on a phone, and it shrinks down and everything kind of crams together, the values of the background and the foreground just become too close. I should have just left it white. But you know, you'll never see the end product. You know, you'll remember this for as long as you live. Now, please subscribe. Follow. I'm on Instagram. I'm on the YouTubes. Of course, you're right here on YouTube watching this. And I want to thank you for showing up, and thank you for I hope you learned something, and thank you very again.